Welcome to the Drive Network. I am your host, Big Bucks. I'm very excited about today's scene. We've been talking about this scene, one of the most important scenes I've wanted to do. We're in Pretoria today at the offices of Cotton King with my brother Tshepo. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, and you, my bro?
Good. Long time no see. I normally call him my brother, so if I go off script and call him my brother, just forgive me.
It's the order of the day, I guess.
You know what I'm saying. But Bratepo, Bratepo, that sounds much better, right?
Yeah.
Bratepo. Thank you so much for making time. And this is for us what I'd like to call the season finale. And it's very special to me because I'm doing it with someone very, very, very dear to me, very close to me, someone I really appreciate. Not to say I don't appreciate the other guys, but I'm just saying it's more of a brother to me than anything else. Okay, let me introduce my brother Tshepo, what he drives and what he does. Why are you here?
First of all, thank you, my bro, for hosting me on your show. It means an awful lot to be here. And yeah, I'm an IP by profession, which is industrial psychologist, and I drive the they call it the Porsche, the Porsche, you know, but the Cayenne, the GTS.
The GTS Coupe. It's a nail clip,
Yeah, that's what I'm driving, and it's a beast in its own way. It's comfortable, and I'm enjoying it.
And I can't wait really to drive it. I've had a chance to drive this car, but I've said no for today because I wanted to drive it today. So I wanted to leave it for the last end. Make no mistake, he wanted me to drive the car, and I said, I'm happy, bro. Let's wait for the TDN. Today I can't wait. And I think maybe the other thing, the car, the experience that you get when you're driving that car, what is it like? Because the last time, yes, like if I'm driving this car, how would I feel? Like, how do you feel? Is it connected to any form of your personality? How does it feel to drive that beast?
You know, you're asking me. When someone asks you a question and you jump into your emotions and the experience of the past and the drive and the dream, this vehicle, you know. I once saw this car in my office, and I saw it on the highway, and I missed the nail clip. I'm like, one day I'm going to own this car, and this was, I think, last year. I said, one day I'll own this car, you know. And I saw it again in a different color, and then I think early this year I saw it in the color that I wanted, and I said, I'm going to drive this car, you know. And I kept quiet, but like Tupac says, the future lives inside of you.
Absolutely.
And everything that you want lives inside of you. And the fact that you know, you can imagine certain things. Steve Harvey says it's like God's way of showing you that this is what he has in store for you. And truth be told, I didn't think twice. I nurtured that dream. I was like, I'm gonna be patient with this.
And I think, my bro, like, once you imagine something, and for me, it's like you can't just imagine something for nothing.
Yeah.
It's already showing you, it's playing you a highlight of your future.
Yeah.
And then it's up to you. And it's funny because this is a story I'm connected to, in a sense that when you said you want this car one day, and you confided in me, right? And you know, sometimes when you see, let's say you buy a car, you start seeing a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it was like already when you said it, I knew, this guy's coming. And I started seeing this car. I sent you pictures. I sent you pictures. I started seeing the car, you know, and I knew, this is one guy with a winning mentality. And I knew, it's coming. And I had no doubt. I knew immediately when we started talking about it, it's coming. But nonetheless, we'll talk more about it. We'll get there and we're going to drive this car. And I think, in most cases, it's for me, what was you mentioned, you are an IP, an industrial psychologist. Number one IP, by the way. Make no mistake. Definitely. So did you always want to become an industrial psychologist? Or what was the experience while you were studying it? And is it something that you always wanted to do?
I was never specific or I wanted to be an IP, but I've always wanted to manage people. I remember walking into a bank with my dad many years ago, and I told my dad, I want to be a bank manager, and then from a bank manager to a mine manager. It has always been about management. And from there on, the passion grew from management to people. And I went to varsity where they rejected me like horribly. You don't fit. You're not a varsity candidate. You're not a varsity material.
What were they thinking? I said that now.
Yeah, the sad part, or getting the essence to all of this. I always say, when God has chosen you, no one can come and say, let's count Tshepo out. People will say 1, 2, 3, you're out, and God says no, 3, 2, 1. This guy is in. And I always say I can never tell my story and leave God out of it. And I say it until this day. I am where I am because of God, and all the things that I have today, I can never say they're all mine without God's intervention.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
God of much more, and I think le batho ba ba ready saying for me, modimo o tlhoka thuso ya gago. You can't just pray and you don't do anything. Then o nagana dilo tse dintle di tlo go tla. People, God is there. He's a living God, and he makes things happen. That's one thing for sure that I can say. I've seen it, and through you, I've also seen a lot. So. But people must work.
Faith without works is dead.
Absolutely.
It's one thing to believe in God, but if you're not going to work, it's not going to happen. You can go on your knees and pray over it. God, please give me this, I need that, but if you're not going to put in the work, it's not going to happen.
Quick, fast. And then, for me, it's quite a difficult episode scene. Hence why the finale, because I've kind of like observed this life, and I've seen it happen, and I want to take it to the growing up part to say, and then how was it like and stuff like that. But maybe if you briefly, I
promise myself I'm not going to get emotional. Nor am I going to cry or do anything related to that. But I think we all have challenges along the way, but those challenges and hurdles are like stepping stones towards your success, But each and every person has a story to tell. And I always say, make sure your life is a story that someone will want to read or be interested to find out more about it, And I grew up as, I can say a loner man, I grew up as an underdog. You can say an underdog.
The underdog, my favorite.
The underdog. Because I was not the popular guy. I grew up a bit tough, because someone accepted looking by mine, the person was like, they were asking me basically the same question. I said, no man, I had a bit of a rough one, because I can trace as far back as Kokrej. When I would walk from Promosa to Ikare. I'm not sure how people know how far that is. Imagine
for me, I can't even imagine it now.
You get what I mean? Yeah. And that's when I also realized that
it's like
God is
10 kilometers. Yeah. Imagine.
And then from there, I got go Koskolong, obviously, primary, high school, and that was also not easy, because you'd go Koskolong, and sometimes I don't have uniform, and it's like the hand-me-downs, where you get your brother these are my old pens, you can have them, or some family member, no, these are pens that you can use, and if mama could afford, then she made a way.
Yes.
But ultimately, it's that struggle from Diaparo to Dijo. But what fascinates me the most is people never got to see the struggle.
Yes.
And I always say, it's like God puts a veil or a curtain or something around you so that
the struggle, yes, you know? Yes, yeah.
And I can't put it in any other way, but that's what amazes me, Kamundi.
Yes.
You're gonna make me cry now. Don't take it there. That as much as you going through these hardships, when God like chooses you and selects you, He makes sure that He takes care of you, you know. And I was telling my colleague the other day, Kere, there are people, but I think I've said this to you as well, Kere, there are people who are appointed to do certain stuff, and there are people who are anointed to do certain stuff, and there are special people who are appointed and anointed to do certain stuff. And in my own little corner, I tend to believe, Jorge, I'm appointed and anointed to do what I'm doing today. Because I was telling my partner the other day, Kere, people who, if I had to take someone and allow them to do what I'm doing today, it would kill them.
Yeah.
It would kill them.
Because I think often people, we look at things and you don't think, Jorge, if you are in that person's shoes, sometimes you won't even survive an hour.
Yeah. You know, because it's that tough. Because I mean, you know, the hours that I spend on doing what I'm doing. You know, because it's not only the consultation that I do. It's the other businesses on the side that I'm busy with. You know, it even goes as far as making sure that the family is also considered in that equation. You know, and having to deal with the staff members that are under my wings, like that on its own, it's daunting. It's
absolutely,
you know? Being responsible for the life that's heavy.
And I know through even maybe for me, because I know the pandemic itself, COVID, it was a tough one, struggle. Big corporations and to let people go. But my brother, said, no, I'm keeping my people, you know, and you made that possible. And that's for me, heaven sent to a lot of people. And it comes with a lot of responsibility. And for me, I'm using this platform to also show that there is people like you, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. Even though I might not know these other people personally, but for the mere fact that you said, some people would have said, no, let me keep my money. And the pandemic is saying, let go. But how was that for you? Like, you know, that sacrifice.
I always say, but God. I didn't want it to get here, but I always say, but God, you know. People get to see what they want to see. I don't live an Instagram life, you know, and you'll never see me going out there showing off things that are not realistic. But neither do I have to go out there and show people things that I'm going through. I went from having a Facebook account to absolutely none, because I want to keep my life private, you know. But coming back to how I made it, it went as far as having to chop the salaries to everyone, you know. And the people who were part of the company in the beginning were the people who experienced getting the salary cuts, you know. And in my mind and in my heart, I felt, okay, these guys are going to leave, you know. And if they leave, it's okay. At the end, these people have families and things to take care of, you know. And believe it or not, people decided how they were going to stay. And that gave me another perspective, the leadership in me, you know, and what they saw more than
absolutely.
Basically.
And I think, sorry to cut you there, because I want to mention something that you did now. And hence why, if I was those people, I'd also stay. You are the owner of this company. And you mentioned my colleagues. It's not everybody that says that. But I digress. It's just one thing that I'm showing you. It's those basic things for me that count.
You know, the staff, they know how not that hierarchy. I'm never on top. I always say we're all on the same level. You know, if there's something that they're not comfortable, that's all. They always pop in my office in, or if I'm not happy with something, I'll pop in and say, listen, how do we fix this 1, 2, and 3? You know, I try to make sure when you leave your home, you come to a home here. You know, so we have so much autonomy here, and you know what also touched me this actually earlier on today this morning was us getting someone so far as KZN and flying that person over and interviewing that person and flying that person back and giving that person an offer because they are the candidate, you know. And I had to take a step back again and reflect and ask myself, okay, is this what God is doing now? Is this how far we've come? You know, what is He trying to show me? Never at one point did I think, okay, I'll fly someone so far, bring them here, and fly them back and give them an offer. You know, but I always say my steps are ordered. You know, my steps are ordered by the Lord, and I talk to Him every single day. I talk to God every day. My colleagues, I tell them already, you know. But when you do certain stuff which are out of the ordinary, that's more an indication, you are in tune with the way Mudima was, you know. So
yeah, it's God, and look, and it's also for me. I'll take it back to Batsadi Bagarho.
Yeah.
And they've done a great job, Gawena. They've done a great job, and without that acknowledgement and appreciation as well, you know, they are the ones that introduce us to God. They are the ones that give us, that mold our personalities. Even Naria Postarate, Recopana Lady Old Corpo, Tatawa Sukudisang, so how come you come back, they mold you. And they've done a great job, and you know, they've really done a great job, and I don't want to talk about them like but they've done a great job, and you know,
thanks to them.
And I say thank you to them. We are here today, and some of us, we have a brother in you, and it's really something. Say you know, sometimes people think a brother is your blood, a brother is someone you were born in the same house with. But I can say that the experience that I'm living with you, and this guy does not know how much inspiration and support I'm getting from him. But today I'm letting it out. But before I also get to cry, let me just step back a bit and go back to you growing up, Porsche.
Oh yeah.
You going to school, your high school. How was that? Because now I remember you got body red, you know, Chama boy. I say this, but how was that coming up for, and what do you do for fun at that time? And at that time, do you think, where I am today, and where you are today, we're still going. We're still going.
And I think that's where I lost track. My schooling. So I attended school called Porsche Secondary. Mostly know it as Moadimi. Right? And it was not the easiest time for Nna, because remember, we are not exposed to your career guidance, your tutoring and whatnot, and that support more family, like we're doing for our kids now. You were sent go school, go study, pass. If you fail, you get a beating, and then you try again, you know. And that's how it was. And I mean, with the challenges that came with schooling, I mean, from the Georgia above, like I mentioned, but we persevered, you know. Only when I got to varsity, I realized, no man, the same effort that I'm putting here, had I put it go school, I would have done well, you know. But like I'm saying, we were not given those tools already. This is what you can do, mentors and whatnot.
Yes.
But while we also interviewed someone, they didn't fit the profile, but something just said, we can absorb this guy and mentor this guy, you know. And that's what we're going to do. We haven't called the guy, but we're going to alert him later on. For listen, come on board. We'll give you a year of an internship, you know. And then from there, let's see how we can groom you so that you become a better person and give you all the experience you need.
Yes.
And then fast forward, got to varsity, Northwest University, right? And the initial stages or getting the entry yakako university is that experience that I hold very close to my heart. Because remember, I leave Moadine, Kadi, right? And some of the colleagues and even certain parents that saw me there and saw the Max Taka, they were like, Pastika S, they used to call it S.
Yes, at the time. Pastika S, how
you get what I mean? And to me, it was like, yay, it's crippling mentally. But still, I'm happy I was mentally strong even by then, right? I get there, I go to the university, and one of my friends, Pastika C's and B's.
Yeah, now you're the man.
You know, this guy C's and B's and nah. I feel like got the E and D's, and they accept this guy, and they reject me, and I try again. They reject me again, and some lady says, "Go speak to the academic manager or academic director." You know, remember the institution is white.
Yeah.
By then it was like proper white. So I get to the office. Yeah, this guy. I get, listen, put my marks up there. I can't speak Afrikaans, but and these guys
the challenge
proper
it
was bad, you know. And this guy is seated, like I can still see him now. He's seated there, and he says, "How can I help you?" But Afrikaans, obviously, right? And I speak English. No, how to get register the documents, kids. And he's like, "No, you don't meet the requirements, you know." And second of all, Afrikaans hours, it's like bad. Your marks are bad. You know?
Wait, it's bad.
So this guy says, I sign Tama. Just like that. You know, like he stutters, he's like, whatever.
Look at God.
Yeah,
look
at
God.
That, you know? And there I was, first year, being accepted with the marks they don't fit a varsity student or getting varsity requirements.
Yeah, give those about technical, nobody.
You get what I mean? No, sharp. I get accepted first year. I thought I was gonna do well. Most of my marks, first semester, give fade. Second semester, I had to pull up my socks. All those modules first semester, I had to carry them. You know, I passed first year, second year distinctions, third year distinctions. Honors, distinctions. From there on, I was unstoppable, you know, and I
still
think I still have.
Just getting better.
You know, I was unstoppable when I left the institution. I was still remembered as that guy who moved from one department to another. You know, they would advertise a position called department every. I would go there. I would want to speak to the director. You know, as young and novice as I was, I went there, said, I have an appointment with the director so and so. But no, but we don't see it on his calendar. No, I just called him now. You know, I called the guy now, speak to him now. You are there. Can I have 5 minutes?
Yeah,
5 minutes of time, you know? Yeah. And that said a lot about me. I would meet up with people like, you know, and then I would be good for faculty so you know, like, oh, okay, so you know, right. And then when I left the institution, as a lecturer. So I moved from being a student assistant to a researcher then lecturer. You know, and I'm laughing about this because when I started off as a student assistant, I hustled my way in. And they said, no, we'll pay you 10 rand an hour. Remember, if an hour. now my daughter, why kill even more than that, you know? And then, but no, we'll give you 10 rand an hour, and by then, I mean, you don't have money. And it reminds me of the saying that I once heard, Eric, if you have prayed for something, or if you have prayed all of your life for something, you cannot complain when your plate is dished or something. I'm not saying it correctly, but it's something along those lines. You get what I mean? So what I was praying for was just a job. And when I was given a job, 10 rand an hour, I couldn't complain. It was what I do with the 10 rand or that job, you know, and I worked so bad that in a month they advertised a position, they made it contract, I was earning 3.5 a month. Imagine from 10 rand an hour to 3.5
now. Yeah, what a move.
I'm like, yo, I can buy a car. but apart from that, I learned the language. These are some of the hurdles that I went through, right? I couldn't speak the language, but I had to force myself to learn the language very quickly. And I became that black guy that was somewhat fluent in this language.
Afrikaans,
and people didn't know, that this guy just learned this language like now, right? And I moved, I left. When I left, I had my entire department in tears. Male, females in the department were crying. And that said also something, okay? If I can have so many people crying for Gatsama, clearly I was impactful. And if I'm going to leave now, wherever I'm going, I need to still maintain the same age, right? And then I came to an institution here, Gauteng. I did the very same thing, and I realized, oh no, man, I'm cut off for something big.
Yeah, something bigger than this.
Something bigger than this. And when it's time for you to move or to be elevated, you'll feel it. You know, I can't explain how that happens, but you'll feel it. Okay, now it's that moment you have to get progress now to another stage. And I always say, God moved me once I've mastered a certain level in life, you know. And I guess that was the time. As much as I wanted to stay in academia, God was like, no,
this is not your place.
This is not your place.
And today, you run, I want you to mention it, put it out there. Cotton King is not just what we run.
No, this is just a hobby. This is a hobby, like something on the side.
A beautiful money-making hobby.
Yeah.
So, and if you do need a tailored suit, call. Make no mistake, you'll be sorted. But nonetheless, I want to get to the company. I want to drive the car. But anyway, I want to speak about, let it be known, our IP, our number one IP company. For me, I want it to be known, and for people watching, I want them to know, if you need these services, this is the number one stop, and trust you come here.
Perfect. So what we do as an IP or a consulting company is we focus a lot on your medical negligence cases. So if something was done incorrectly at some medical institution or hospital, and they cut off your right arm instead of your left, that's where I come in and assist those processes. I come in as what they refer to as a medical expert. And I also deal with lots of RAF, so we deal a lot with lots of loss of earnings and loss of support, personal injuries, workplace injuries, and so on. So if you are involved, so I want to explain it so people have a better understanding of it. So if you are involved in an accident, you put in a claim with the road accident fund, right? And then from there, it's either you do it directly with the fund or you do it via an attorney. So once you decide what's our process, then either one of the entities will then appoint the medical experts to assess all those injuries, and then I also come in and check, what are these experts saying, these medical experts saying, and it requires like in-depth knowledge of that particular case and matter and what these experts are saying. And then I need to then also consult with this patient and then give my opinion as to what I think the outcome is. This particular person, are they still employable? Have they lost an income? And what is it that they have lost? You know, and are they still in a position to perform? And if so, to which magnitude?
Yes.
You know, so that's what I do. Basically the one side.
Yes.
And then the other part entails all your human capital stuff, your recruitment, your placement. So it's another division of the company, and then the other division has to do with your psychometric tests and all of that. So that's what they do in their department. And we also have a security company. I'm not sure I told you about this.
No, you do.
Yeah, there's a security company, and there's also another one, transportation with shuttle services.
Yes.
And we have,
there's a lot. But Newa is the name of the company. He's not getting to the name of the company. But nonetheless, before we run to the GTS, what is it that you have to say to a normal guy who might be watching, who aspires to be Tshepo, who wants to do better? What is it that you can say to them? And I can't wait for the GTS. What is it?
You know, you asked me a question. My barber was asking me on, I think, Monday or Tuesday. And he says, Tshepo, what would you say to the younger version of you? And that guy made me think on the spot. And I was like, first things first, I would tell the younger version, to not quit. Whatever you do, don't quit. You know, God is always coming and He's never late. I could have quit, I could have quit a long time ago, but God just made a way, So I always say, if you do it with God, God has a way of making things all right. For all the times you don't see a way, and you don't know it. You're going to sleep. There's no tuition fees. I've been there. Where my other fellow friends would mock me or and whatnot. And it's today possible because I had a dream and all I had to do was to hope, and after hoping I just had to believe, and after believing you just put in the work, like I said, it will work if you work it. People like saying you must give 100. I don't put in 100. 100 is basic, that's what's required of you. If you're spanning 8 or 5, that's 100, that's what I expected. And you get people who put in 120, that's good. But I put in 160. If you ask me why 160, I don't know.
160.
It's just 160, it's just beyond the speed limit.
We'll try and keep the speed limit on par. But whatever you do, don't quit. God always finds a way to make it right. Believe you me, I've seen it. And whatever you do, don't quit. I say no finish line. Peace out. We are about to share the GTS, manje. It's a game to this day.
Season finale.
Season finale. Oh, what a net. Okay, season finale ya tota.
Yeah, no. O thola whiplash. But now I'm just wondering performance, the turbo. Oh, and the other thing that I get to enjoy Katransiena. The sports response.
It kicks in.
It kicks in.
Wow. But remember, like the other Porsche, the other one, it kicks in.
Yeah.
Like remember, I gonna get driver, you're like the kick, the gear when it's on sport.
Yeah.
You feel this thing react.
Yeah.
And that's what it does. Yeah, and so it's a little. Yes.
No, truth be told, am I enjoying this? Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, and if you work hard, then you get what you like. You know, and I was all chaser, what's up officing? Well, you did it. Sick. Yes.
So we just need a racetrack.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get that. Throw your arranger. Damn it, I think I better back.
Orange.
Yeah, carry no gents. It's my turn. I chase. I got back in nugget chase.
You can get a proper female thing.
Yeah.
See, okay, then we drive back.
You clear that Dani Giga, I did a live here go guys. Go finale. Yes, yeah, no. Yeah, the background of the color, why the color in, why you had that specific color in mind.
Yeah. So the color that I wanted was initially black, right? And then from black I was like, no, but the silver is also nice.
Yeah.
You know. And then from the silver I'm like, yay,
that one.
but the red is actually nicer, you know. And then I started falling in love with the red because I saw it twice. Like I said earlier on, more highwaying. I saw the one more. Yeah, they were both more highwaying actually, you know, but different cars.
Yes.
That's when I realized, no man, I'm falling more for the red than any other color, you know. And then I started posting that video YouTube.
Yes.
It was the red one.
The red one.
Yeah. And then from the red one,
done.
It was done. I just had to talk to God about it, and it's like, listen,
make it happen. Yeah. Oh, get chance no.
Now I'm gonna give you your spot.
Get chance And I think like this car, Jesus, you know what? I think now get the time the younger you. What would you tell the younger you now? Anyone is watching maybe.
What's my
Cheers. What would you tell the younger you to get this car?
What would I tell the younger me?
Inspiration in
what I would say is that hard work pays, you know. If you work, it will work, you know. And people must stop listening to this thing, you need to work smart, you know. That's a lie, man. That's a lie. I always say, work hard. If you want to work smart, then you can work smart out hard. But the formula is just plainly working hard. I remember Kikopan, this other guy, a driver R8. I think this was probably 3 years back. And I used to have a bad habit, and a habit that almost got me killed. Because what I would do is, I would chase around people
Oh, yes.
my dream cars. Remember I told
Yes.
you about it? So I would see an X6 and then I would chase the guy around.
Oh, yay.
What are you doing? Like, for you to be driving this car, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Spanish, you know? And I remember this guy, and Amy
Yeah.
right?
No, we are not there.
No, I'm not hijacking you or anything. I just want to know, right, what are you doing that I'm not doing? I want to drive this car, so tell me okay, so that I can own this, right?
Oh.
And this guy says to me,
Oh, sorry.
yeah. So this guy says, rule number 1, you work hard. Number 2, when you say you're going to deliver on this particular date and time, you make sure that you deliver. You honor your word, right? And those are the principles that I live by. You know, I respect time, I respect quality, and
yeah, and I think that commitment, don't come Mari, no, do it.
No, you lose.
Yeah.
Like that you lose. I mean, I've had a lot of clients coming over, Barry. We want you as an expert because so and so delayed or so and so went this, and that's why I capitalize, because hard work I just put in the hard work, place ahead, and then I'm able to get what you were playing around with, you know.
Hard work, boss. Hard work. Don't play.
Yeah. And there's one thing that's also dear to my heart, and I think Denzel Washington once said it. Commitment will get you started, and consistency will get you to the end, right? And that's so relevant and so important. You see, like that's actually the second formula that you need, right? You get a lot of people buying, I want 1, 2, and 3, and then they commit to it until it gets tough. Once the kitchen is too hot, people bail out.
Yeah.
You know, but the aim is to remain consistent, whether it's hot, whether it's tough or what, you remain consistent. And with patience, I mean, you see it looks out, you go back.
No, but it's true, because I think at some stage you give up. Can take up more so you know, that's just that last day. Then you give up, no man, you're letting go of all the hard work, you know, and then you just give up. And then I always say, that pain, ankaniki, yo,
it will kill you.
Yo.
No, yeah.
I'm even lost.
So I used to live Askies, got 3 Ds. In varsity, I think a lot. I think you know that. I think like an awful lot. I used to live these 3 words. I call it the 3 Ds. Hey, Tara. I call it the 3 Ds: determination, discipline, dedication.
Yeah.
It's exactly what Denzel Washington is saying. You know, if you're determined, if you're disciplined and dedicated, then
determination, discipline, dedication.
Yeah. Then
get
then you good.
Yo, thank you for the ride. Kineki met today. I'm sure it's not the last one.
No, definitely not.
I'm sure it's not the last one.
Definitely not.
So yeah, the ride. I think for me, Koloi, it's responsive.
Yeah.
It pulls me in the seat. It's still comfortable.
Yeah.
And I could imagine myself get chased again, right?
Yeah.
Or going for a meeting or going anywhere.
Yeah.
You it's luxury.
Yeah.
It's luxury. It's maybe tongue. VIP inside the car, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
For me, it kind of like makes me feel not to ever want to be broke.
Yeah.
Because you get that they were no, this is where we are.
Yeah.
And I think that's inspirational in its own way.
Yeah.
The particular car, it gives you class. It gives you that luxurious feel.
Yeah.
So I'm happy guy on it. Oscar Makala me bro phone like installment.
But on a serious note, I'm happy with the car, and like I said, you made the best choice. The speed. Okay, I wanted to mention Jorge. Cotton King is meshing with the car. King Cotton is meshing with the car.
And this was not intentional.
Yeah,
though.
so if you want to match with your car any day, we'll sort you out. We'll sort you out.
Yeah.
It's a hobby, but I know Jorge Mona, there's quality.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think for me, I'm happy. And yeah, it's a drive network, baby. Peace, we out. Are you happy?